Proto-Dravidian language of Mohenjo-daro. It will read can, I or to see. The small sign placed above it is determinative of personality. Therefore, it will read Kanan, people who have eyes. This evidently refers to a tribe. The ancient word Kannadiga by which the people of modern Karnataka are mentioned seems to be a modification of Kannanir. Shamba Joshi traces the antiquity of the Kannada race to the earliest Vedic period by a study of Vedic mythology and etymology. In his view, the word Kannada, of which Karnata is a Sanskrit rendering, stands for Kannada country in the main, its two components being Kan and Nadu. Kan means the Kanna race, which is the ancient stock of the later Kannada people. The Kannas themselves are a branch of the earliest pre-Aryan Dravidians known as Kalavar or Kala, meaning thieves, who belong to the Rigvedic era. The Kalavar race is said to be Mula Dravida and Kanna race Arya Dravida, and their admixture gave rise to Karnata culture. According to others, Karnataka abounds with rich forests which grow such fragrant trees like the sandal and spices like pepper and cardamom, the sweet smell of which spread over a major part of the land. On this basis, it is argued that the word Karnataka is derived from Kamitu plus Nadu Kannadu, yielding place to Kannada. It is also maintained that the melodious music of birds, bees and butterflies which were played into the ears of the people inhabiting the region, pleased them. Thus from Karnata the name Karnata must have been derived. Dr. Bendre is of the opinion that there are two races at the source of Kannada Kula, whose combination has evolved the Kannada race. They are the Kannas or Kalayas and Naras or Natas, well known to the history and Puranic legend. The Natas intermixing with Kalkalias gave rise to Karnataka race. It must be admitted that the origin of the term defies any approach to finality. Scholars are not agreed over the derivation of the word Kannada itself. Kannada is variously derived from Karanadu. This seems plausible, bearing the geographical characteristics of the region inhabited by the Kannadigas. Karanadu at first meant the country and Karanada, the people of this country. But when it assumed the form of Kannada, Kannada stood for the country, people and language as well. It is a commonplace knowledge that the course of human history in a region is shaped by its physical features. These very features help us to determine the phases, which the region has passed through its geographical history in the dim vista of time. It was Richard Hakluyt who pointed out that geography and chronology are the sun and moon, the right and the left eye of history. The influence of geography is said to account for certain pattern of culture and man's response to the challenge of nature, which determines the future of a country. In the regions of extreme cold or heat there is no evidence of a high growth of civilization, but all the great cultures rose up in the temperate climate. Therefore, the climate, fertility of the soil, natural barriers of the sea or the mountains help the growth of civilizations. Geographically speaking, Karnataka is one of the oldest parts of India. Situated in the heart of the Deccan Plateau, Karnataka, extending over 191,756.07 square kilometers, occupies an important position in the middle of the western half of southern India. The state occupies a central position in the southern part of the Indian peninsula between the longitudes 14 to 12 and 78 to 30 and latitudes 11 to 30 and 18 to 45 n. The state of Karnataka is bounded in the north, east and south by the states of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. It has about 350 miles of coastline of the Arabian Sea in the west. It consists of a series of uplands with an average height of over 2,000 feet above sea level and a pattern of physical and topographical features typical of its own. Karnataka may be broadly divided into 6 relief regions: 1. The Kanara coastal belt, 2. The Sayadras, 3. The eastern ranges, 4. The southern plateau, 5. The northern plateau and 6. The submontane belt. The Kanara coastline by the side of the Sayadri slopes stretches for about 300 miles. It is about 8 to 20 miles wide in the north and 30 to 40 miles broad in the south. This region, lowland, orienting towards the Arabian Sea, is traversed by several spurs and ridges which reach the western shores at some places. The level land being limited, agricultural activity is much restricted and only paddy and coconut are grown. This narrow strip is watered by the rivers Sharavati, Tadri, Bedti, rising from the western Ghats and many territorial streams and rivulets.